My dear first PUC young friends, I welcome all of you to this session. So in the previous sessions, you have seen the physical world. I made my effort to introduce you what physics is. In physics, what we are going to study. Then we move to units and dimensions. The chosen standard of reference for measurement are called units. Make it very clear. That is. The next one is dimensions. The powers with which the basic units are to be raised to obtain the derived units are called dimensions. Okay? So then we move to vectors. So in these two topics, there are so many problems. If you open any textbook, you will get so many problems. I have taken only 2 or 3 problems just to introduce the nature of the problems. Okay? So the first problem that I took is mention the dimensions of basic units in force. Please read the question properly. Then you question a question. You will get the answer. Mention the dimensions. What are dimensions? The powers with which the basic units are raised are called dimensions. Okay? You know that the dimensional formula of force is mass into acceleration. That means mLT minus 2. Mass is a basic unit. Length is a basic physical quantity. Time is a basic quantity. These three are the basic quantities on which the force depends. Okay? The powers with which the basic units or basic quantities are to be raised to obtain the derived quantity, that is force or dimensions. Okay? So if you analyze the problem properly, you will get the answer. So what answer I can write? The dimensions of length in force is 1. That is the dimension. That is the power. The dimension of mass in force is 1. That is what the problem is saying. Then the third one is the dimension of time in force is, the dimension of time in force is minus 2. That is one. These three are the dimensions of the basic units in force. Okay? So this is how the problems will appear for 1 or 2 marks in this topic. So then we shall move to the next problem, that is, so errors. How to find the errors? So in errors, the true value of a measurement is 4.7 units. This is the exact value. Actually it should be 4.7. That is the true value. Okay? Usually we will take the mean value, average value as the true value. Okay? Right. So the true value is given. The measured value is 4.6 units. We are getting 4.6 by measuring this using some instrument. So I will get it as 4.6. Then find. What I have to find? Find the absolute error. Then relative error, delta x by x. Then percentage error in this measurement. I have to find absolute error, relative error, and then percentage error in this problem. Okay? So what is absolute error? You know that? The difference between the measured value, the absolute difference between the measured value and the true value. is called absolute error. That difference. That is the formula to find absolute error. Then this is the measured value. This is the true value. Yes. This is the measured value. This is the true value. The difference comes out to be minus 0.1. So the absolute value of this is 0.1. Okay? Then, so this is how we should find the absolute error. Then relative error is given by the ratio of absolute error to the true value. The ratio of absolute error to the true value is called relative error, that is delta x by x gives relative error. That relative error is given by delta x is 0.1. So this true value is 4.7. So if I divide this, I will get it as 0.02 is the relative error. Then knowing the relative error, if I multiply by 100, I will get percentage error. The error in this measurement is about 2%. This is how we can find the absolute error, relative error and percentage errors. So these are the types of problems which will appear in the examination. So under errors, now we shall move to the next problem on vectors. Yes. So calculate the magnitude and direction of the resultant. Okay. What is resultant? A single vector which produces the same effect as that of a set of vectors. Okay. Yes. That is the resultant vector. Here force is taken. Force is a vector physical quantity. So we should find out the resultant force of two forces, 3 Newton and 4 Newton, acting at an angle 60 degree. Okay. Now read the problem once again. So now first we shall write the data. The one force P equals 3 Newton is given. Q equals 4 Newton is given. Then the angle between them is given 60 degree. So what I have to find? I have to find the resultant, magnitude of the resultant and direction of the resultant. That alpha gives the direction. Okay. Now we already derived the expression for the resultant, that is r square equals p square plus q square plus 2pq into cos theta. This expression gives the magnitude of the resultant. Now we know pq and theta, we shall substitute those things and simplify. P square means 3 square plus 4 square plus 2 into 3 into 4 into cos 60 degree. Okay. 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, 2 3s are 6, 6 4s are 24, and cos 60 degree is 4 3 2 1 is 1 by 2. Okay. Right. So this 2 1, if I cancel with this 2, I will get 12. Finally 9 plus 16 plus 12. 9 plus 16 is 25. 25 plus 12 is how much? 37. This is r square. R square is 37. Then r equals root of 37 Newton is the magnitude of the resultant of two forces acting at a point. So here, while solving the problem, you should study the nature of the problem. This is a direct problem. This is also called assertive problem. So the data is directly given. So for any problem there will be a formula. So you should know the formula, you should substitute and simplify, finally you will get the answer. So now we got the magnitude of the result. So then we have to find the direction. So to find the direction, what is the formula? Tan alpha equals Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta is the formula. Okay? Know that using law of parallelogram of forces we derived this. This is R, this is P, this is Q, this is theta. This alpha gives the magnitude, alpha gives the direction of the resultant of these two forces acting at this point. Okay? Now, I will substitute P and Q and theta. Q is nothing but 4. Sin theta is 60 degree, sin 60 degree, divided by P is 3 Newton plus 4 cos 60 degree. If I simplify this further, what I will get? 4 into sin 60 degree, 0, 1, 2, 3. Therefore, root 3 by 2 is the value of sin 60 degree. This is 3 plus 4 into cos 60 degree is half. This is nothing, 2 1s are 2 2s are 2 root 3 divided by 3 plus 2, 2 1s are 2 2s are. Therefore, this comes out to be 2 root 3 divided by 5. Therefore, alpha equals, the angle alpha is given by tan inverse of 2 root 3 divided by 5. If I simplify these things further using calculator or log book, using log tables, I can find out directly the value of alpha in degrees. So this is how the problems appear in these chapters. You please go through all these things in detail. Please understand the concept of units, dimensions, their uses, scalars, vectors, and all those things. We will use all these things in the next chapter, motion along a straight line. That is the actual basic physics. The actual physics starts in the next session. Thank you.